Good evening. Welcome to the Buck Stops Here. I'm Vishnu Shom. On the program this evening, a huge victory for the BJP President Amit Shah. A special CBI court drops the charge of murder as well as of conspiracy, kidnapping and extortion in the encounter of the gangsters Sohrabuddin, his wife Kasuer Bi and their associate Tulsiram Prajapati. On the program this evening, we ask, a clean chit to Amit Shah in fake encounters. Was Amit Shah a victim of political conspiracy? Also coming up, MS Dhoni retires as India's Test captain. Sunil Gavaskar and VVS Lakshman join us to discuss the legacy of Dhoni and his contribution to Indian Test cricket. Our question, Captain Cool declares that 90 tests. Can Kohli effectively replace MS Dhoni? But first, our top story, a huge day of celebration for the BJP. Their argument that Amit Shah, their party president, was systemically targeted by the CBI as part of a political conspiracy has been proven correct. Charges in the Sohrabuddin case have been dropped.
At the BJP office, a celebration for their party president. A special CBI court dropping the charge of murder as well as of conspiracy, kidnapping and extortion in the encounter of gangster Sohrabuddin, his wife Kasuer Bi and their associate Tulsiram Prajapati.
Amit Shah was externed from Gujarat and even jailed. So now the BJP says it feels vindicated as a political witch hunt has finally come to an end.
The court systematically debunked each piece of evidence which the CBI had produced to prove that Shah, as Minister of State for Home, had a hand in the killings. The CBI claimed a high volume of calls between Amit Shah and police officers accused in the killings just around the time of the encounter proves Shah's role in the conspiracy. But the court said there was nothing unnatural about a minister calling his police officers if that was his style of functioning.
It was felt that instructions given to higher officers do not percolate down. So it was felt after Gujarat that you have to talk to ground officers little below the DG. So you can change your style of functioning. If you change your style of functioning, is it conspiracy?
The CBI claimed it had testimonies of the head of Gujarat CID, GC Raigar, that he was called to a meeting by Shah and given illegal orders in the Sohrabuddin case. The court said the term illegal orders is too vague, and others present at the meeting denied Shah making such statements. The CBI had claimed that Shah ran an extortion racket with Sohrabuddin but ordered his killing after Sohrabuddin became a liability. The court said there was no proof to back this claim. But perhaps in its most dramatic statement, the court said it found substance in Amit Shah's claim that the case was politically motivated.
There were 164 statements before a magistrate. None of this was projected by the CBI counsel in a 15-minute submission before the Mumbai court. These are serious questions for the CBI to answer. These are serious questions for the central government, who seems to be have become the master of a caged parrot all over again.
An emotional Sohrabuddin's brother says they will move the higher court.
High court जाएंगे, बिल्कुल जाएंगे, high court जाएंगे, देखे जाओगे तो वो बहुत बचा हुआ टाइम देखे जाओगे तो.
But for now, Amit Shah and the BJP will savor the moment. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says, I was amongst the first few voices which had consistently maintained that the prosecution of Amit Shah was a case of no evidence. Without analysing the evidence in detail, the media allowed itself to report as was briefed by the CBI. Even a vital noting on the CBI file that the implication of Amit Shah was necessary so that the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Narendra Modi, could be implicated was no news for them. The Sohrabuddin and the Tulsiram Prajapati fake encounter cases were perhaps the biggest impediment to Amit Shah's political career. Not only has the special CBI court thrown out the cases against him, but also questioned almost each and every aspect of the CBI investigation, further strengthening Amit Shah's position. With Srinivasan Jain and camera person Dinesh Mahimane, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
So was Amit Shah, the BJP president, a victim of a political conspiracy? That's what we are debating this evening. Joining us now, Jai Narayan Vyas, the senior leader of the BJP, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Rajya Sabha MP and spokesperson of the Congress party, Vrinda Grover, advocate. Also joining us, Meher Desai. We're also joined by Zafar Sareshwala and Professor Rakesh Sen of Delhi University. Thank you all of you for joining us this evening. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, let me come to you first, sir. Perhaps the most striking part of today's court order was the court saying that Amit Shah was involved in a case by the CBI for political reasons. In other words, backing what people like Arun Jaitley have been saying for years. How do you respond to that?
I have yet
in my limited experience as a lawyer, found in a discharge order a finding that the case has been filed politically. It's an absurd and a remarkable finding for a court to give. I have not yet read the order, but I can wager a bet that there could be no reason which a discharge order could give for such a finding. How can a discharge order give this finding?
What do you mean by, so you're criticizing the order? You're criticizing the order.
Of course I'm criticizing. So which law prevents you from criticizing an order?
I don't understand. Sir. Are you saying that the judge?
Can I explain?
Are you saying that the judge was biased? I'm asking you directly, sir.
No. Please let me explain. I've just started. In this country, a judgment is fully criticizable as being legally perverse. I have not attributed any motive to the judge. I have said it's legally perverse. That's number one. Number two, this is the beginning. Where is the question of clean chit? Clean chit happens if this order is upheld in appeal and then by the Supreme Court. I'm sure on legally perverse grounds it is challengeable. Third, I am not making any comment. These are the facts and you must look at these facts very quickly. Post the elections, Mr. Amit Shah files a discharge. The discharge comes before Judge A. The Judge A pulls up Amit Shah for not being present frequently. The Judge A is changed, transferred. Judge B comes. The CBI engages no special public prosecutor for a case of this magnitude. The previous public prosecutor is changed. The investigating officer is changed. In December, the arguments are heard and argued vigorously by Mr. Shah's advocates, as they are entitled to argue, for 3 full days. The CBI responds in 15 minutes. Can in 15 minutes the best counsel in the world tell the CBI judge who is hearing the case that the CBI's charge sheet itself has evidence recorded by several witnesses under section 164,
so what you're saying now,
which
sir,
are statements which can't be retracted.
Mr. Singhvi, you're basically saying that the CBI was biased. You're saying that the CBI is biased in this new government.
I am saying
which is a strange irony, because the central argument made by the BJP was that the CBI has been biased during the UPA's time.
As a very lackadaisical, lax prosecutor.
Okay. Well, how the tables in a sense have turned. Jairam Vyas, would you like to come in on that? Dr. Singhvi listing out several points whereby there were things that happened in the court which seemed to indicate that the CBI was not interested in taking action or pushing for action against Amit Shah. Therefore, there was no delivery of justice today, quite the opposite. How do you respond to that, Mr. Vyas?
It's a fully challengeable order.
Well, being a very senior counsel of eminence, I must admire that he is building up his case very meticulously. When I used to say in several debates, and I have confronted Abhishek also, he would recollect, that nothing is final unless all the remedies available to the accused are exhausted, and therefore something which is being filed as a charge sheet doesn't mean anything as far as Amit Shah's involvement in the crime is concerned. He used to challenge me. He said, no, charge sheet has spelled out the charges and therefore you cannot say this. Now he is taking recourse to the same thing, that it is challengeable. Yes, it is challengeable, and it is challengeable in several superior courts of law. Nobody denies that. Then coming to part 2, the judgments are, for whatever legal lacuna or malaise concerned, are criticizable. Yes, they are. But then this is not the forum to criticize them. The proper forum to criticize them would be the court of law. As of now, let us at least honor the dignity of the concerned court. And we have been saying right from day one that a person is innocent unless until he is otherwise established guilty. Now, no time ever Amit Shah was established guilty, and therefore, I think to say that this is some kind of a jugglery on the part of whoever were the players, I think it is trying to say a bit too much. I think I would not agree with what Abhishek is saying. It is a case decided by a competent court. If at all there is anything which is wanting, you have all the liberty to challenge it in the superior court for whatever remedies you want from them.
Dr. Singh, I'll come to you in a moment. I want to go across to Vrinda Grover as well at this stage. Mr. Vyas, just a moment. Vrinda, if you look at some of the other points which have come out in the order, one of the arguments which had been raised by the CBI in the past was that there was a high volume of phone calls between Amit Shah and the police officers accused in the killings. Now the court today said that so what, there's nothing unnatural about a state home minister speaking to top cops. So that was shedded, that argument. The CBI claimed it had the testimonies of the head of the Gujarat CID that he was called to a meeting by Shah and given so-called illegal orders. The court said that the term illegal orders was too vague. And it goes on and on. For example, the CBI had claimed that Shah ran an extortion racket with Sohrabuddin. Now the court says there is absolutely no evidence of this. So point by point, the arguments raised by the CBI in the past have been dismissed by this court. Is it still fair, do you believe, to say that this is a questionable order, a wrong order perhaps, by this court?
Vishnu, I have not read the order. The order has only been, I think, dictated very late in the afternoon today. So I'm not in a position to comment on the specifics of it. I'm sure the counsel for Sohrabuddin would be better placed. Let me just place a couple of issues before us today. There were a spate of fake encounters in Gujarat. Sohrabuddin, Kasuer Bi and Tulsiram were not the only ones. We know that Ishrat Jahan and others were also killed. In each one of them, there was a political motivation that was put in the FIR by the Gujarat police saying that these persons are linked to militant or terrorist organizations and have come here to attack Narendra Modi. That was the false FIRs that were lodged by this gang of police officers, many of whom are in jail today and some have been released on bail. So if we are saying that there were murders committed by this gang of police officers, the question that arises is, why did they target certain persons who were all Muslims except Tulsiram Prajapati, who happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time and therefore had to be eliminated? Why is it that these encounters took place? If Amit Shah was doing his job so diligently and was so closely in touch with his ground level police officers like Vanjara, surely he would have known what the hell they were up to at all these hours, killing and bumping of people. The question that stares us in the face today is, why were these encounters committed? Who gained politically from them? Who was the mastermind? When fake encounters happened in Punjab, editors and senior journalists like Shekhar Gupta and Praveen Swami say to us that, why are you making police officers scapegoats? Where are the politicians who gave the orders? So today, we are asking that where is the larger criminal conspiracy? Why did Vanjara, Amin and everybody kill so many people? That is a question that needs to be answered both inside the court of law and outside. You
followed this very closely. That is the central theme. Where is the political conspiracy? The court says that he is the victim of a political conspiracy, but the other way of looking at it, from what Vrinda Grover says, is that the political conspiracy was in fact hatched in Gujarat. It was hatched perhaps at some level politically, perhaps by the BJP in the state, and that has not been addressed at all. Otherwise, these police officers wouldn't have been involved in the first place.
I think we are a democracy with difference. The special court has given the judgment, no one has read the judgment, and everybody is making remark and acting as the super judge or the super court. I don't believe that court has already passed through the cross-examination of witnesses, and on the basis of the cross-examination, the court has reached to the some
No cross-examination has taken place.
No. Kindly listen to me, Vrinda. Why should we come to the conclusion that CBI has favored?
This is the stage of charge.
No.
There is no witness.
There are charges. You are making observation on the basis of perception, because you have made the perception. I am just giving one example. When Amit Shah was Home Minister,
you are making wrong facts. You are stating wrong facts.
That was a Gujarat or kindly listen to me. Gujarat Prevention of Organized Crimes, and that bill has been sent back by the centre for at least 6 times. The same bill was passed in Karnataka, same bill was passed in the Maharashtra. So the UPA government since 2004 to 2014 acted on the basis of conspiracy theory. They have acted, they have just
So what is the Professor Sinha, what is the point that you are making?
They have unleashed campaign against
What is the point that you are making?
Even the Narendra No, I am just making that when Gujarat CBI has objected, but the court has given the final judgment. You are charging CBI. You are saying
it's
CBI
not a
is
final
biased.
judgment.
My question
it's
is
the first order.
No, who is responsible for the biasness of CBI? Who is responsible? I am just quoting one example. Somaiya has written an autobiography. He was the Union Home Secretary. He wrote that the then CBI director favored the Bofors case, and he was given Khatri favored the Bofors case, and he was given the post-retirement extension by Rajiv Gandhi government. So this is all the Congress government is responsible for the erosion of the credibility of the CBI. They have misused the CBI. Now the 6-month-old baby, that BJP government, they are blaming the BJP and 6-month-old baby for the biasness.
Okay.
They are not. It is the self-induced by the Congress.
Okay, Vrinda wanted
Last
to.
60,
Vrinda wanted to reply, and then Dr. Singh
CBI was
after
formed.
that.
CBI has
Vrinda,
been
very
misused
briefly,
by the
go ahead.
Congress government.
Yes, very quickly. First of all, we are at the stage of charge, which is the first stage in a criminal trial. No witness has been examined. All that the court is required to see at this stage is their prima facie evidence to link the accused to the crime. That is all. No witness has been examined. If witnesses are examined, cross-examined, then we will get to the bottom of the truth. Secondly, if this is only rogue cops at play, can the Gujarat government then tell us why Abe Chudasama, Rajkumar Pandyan, Dinesh MN and Vipul Agarwal, all 4 charge-sheeted and accused in the Sohrabuddin case, have been reinstated in service? So cops who are being tried for multiple murders are again serving officers of the Gujarat
Mr.
state.
Vyas, you want to reply to that?
Well, basically, I think what Brinda is not trying to accept is that they are not sort of proven guilty of anything. They are tried. They are being tried.
They are being prosecuted.
But it is not at any stage.
Mr. Vyas, they are being prosecuted.
They are not held guilty at any stage. You show me at one stage where they were held guilty.
Okay, Dr. Singhvi, I'll come to you with a question. This is what Amit Shah says. This is what Arun Jaitley has said. You know, Vrinda was making the point about who was responsible. What is the political conspiracy? Well, Arun Jaitley's version of the political conspiracy, and he writes this, he's forwarded this again today. It was a letter that he'd written to the Prime Minister. He says the CBI targeted Amit Shah, the then Home Minister and also the Minister of Law, Transport and Parliamentary Affairs of the state of Gujarat, with the ultimate desire of implicating Narendra Modi, the Chief Minister of Gujarat. That is what the BJP says is the political conspiracy. It was hatched by the UPA at the centre. You were going after Modi. How do you respond to that, Dr. Singh?
Certainly that letter of Mr. Jaitley finds an echo in the order today if the press reports are to be believed. And to that extent, Mr. Jaitley stands vindicated. But I am sure it's only a temporary vindication because there are appellate recourses available. But let me make 2 or 3 points clearly. Point number 1, we are nowhere talking of the guilt of Mr. Shah. Who has talked about guilt? Certainly not me, ever. We are talking of, in fact, the reverse situation. That is there not even sufficiently stateable evidence to put him on trial? That's the test at the discharge stage. Unless we talk some law, it will all become a very, very generalized, vague discussion. Now, the court has held that despite a plethora of material in the charge sheet along with statements, this is not even a triable case, Mr. Shah. And that is what is startling. It's already been pointed out that this is not an acquittal. It's not a trial and an acquittal on evidence, on merits. The point is that here is a CBI which has given a wealth of material about extortion rackets, about telephone calls, about presence of those who have talked about illegal orders, and I repeat, statements of witnesses non-retractable recorded under a section called 164, which are not retractable because they are made before a magistrate. They are not mere simple confessional statements. Now, this wealth of material is held by a judge at the discharge state in a 15-minute argument by CBI counsel, not a special public prosecutor, in a case of this significance, to be not sufficient to even put him on trial. I think that is a legally perverse result. And let me make one final point, very important. There seems to be no doubt you to bifurcate this whole thing. It is virtually accepted by all that these people, Kasuer Bi, Sohrabuddin, etc., were not in fact involved in any conspiracy to eliminate Modi. So that part of the charge is false. it is therefore virtually accepted that their killing was in a fake encounter or was a extrajudicial non-legal killing. The only thing left is as to whether there is involvement of higher-ups in that.
Zafar Sareshwala,
that's the narrow issue. On that issue, the material is so large in the charge sheet that I am only saying that at least the judge should have held it sufficient to go to trial. Yes, today Mr. Shah has a discharge. Tomorrow an appellate court on simple principles of law would be fully entitled to reverse this order, but of course that will have to await an appellate court.
Zafar Sareshwala, do you want to come in on this? Essentially that there's been a travesty of justice over here, and several of the points are absolute points. For example, the transfer of the judge. The justice was transferred in June 2014. 2 of the CBI's point persons were transferred as well. There's a new special prosecutor. He's argued only for a limited period of time. The point being that the CBI now is not taking this case seriously. What has happened in court, besides being a travesty of justice according to the Congress, would have perhaps happened because it was not presented properly.
Vishnu, if we start looking at these things, what you mentioned, I mean, it will open up Pandora's box. I mean, this has not happened now only. It has been happening. So I don't want to make any motives about what has happened. My very limited view is that the buck should stop somewhere. I mean, now the court has given a judgment. Whatever it is, we should accept. And yes, this is not the end of it. There are higher courts, we can go. And I think this discussion, whether A is guilty or he is not, or what has happened, I think all these things should be taken to the proper court.
Okay.
And that is the forum to be decided. I think if we start discussing about judgments in such forum, I think it would be a very dangerous precedence for us. I mean, I feel that the buck should stop at a position. If a judgment has been made, full stop, there is a position, you can go to the higher court or a higher court. It should be the system.
I take your point that the buck ultimately rests with a judge in a court. Mihir Desai, do you believe that a higher court judge will rule more favorably for you as Sohrabuddin's lawyer? Today would be a very disappointing day for you, but it seems that most of the points mentioned by the CBI have been completely denounced by the judge.
Well, I feel, of course I am disappointed with the judgment, undoubtedly, but at the same time, as earlier speakers have also said, that there is a higher court and we have instructions already from our clients to proceed to the higher court. See, there are 2-3 things which you must bear in mind. There was sufficient evidence, okay, A, from Patel brothers, who talk about involvement of Mr. Amit Shah in the Sohrabuddin case, then from higher officers who say very categorically that instructions, illegal instructions were being given to them, and see the telephone records. So question today before the judge was not whether Mr. Amit Shah was guilty or not. Question before the court was whether there is sufficient evidence to proceed with a trial or not. That was the only question. And I am quite disappointed, I am quite shocked at this judgment. Of course, we will take it to the higher court. And if the High Court does not grant us relief, we'll go to the Supreme Court. I mean, that channel is always open to us, and we're going to use it. But today, I must frankly say, I'm shocked at this judgment.
Mr. Desai, you were talking about the Patel brothers. Isn't it also true that the Patel brothers have criminal records in Gujarat? The argument which has been made by those against you in this case is that they aren't, their testimony cannot be relied on. In many instances, their statements were contradictory. In one particular case, when they said that money had been transferred to the Gujarat government through a certain person, that person was actually out of the country. So there were holes in their argument.
Oh, but you must remember one thing, that ultimately, even if a criminal doesn't always lie, so even assuming what you are saying is correct, namely there are some criminal antecedents, okay, doesn't mean everything they speak is a lie. Okay, that will have to be tested out in a trial. they will be, I mean, Amit Shah's lawyers will be entitled to cross-examine Patel brothers. Why are you depriving us of that opportunity? That's the question today. That yes, maybe they are right, maybe they are wrong, but let it be tested in a cross-examination. Why are people shying away from subjecting these people to cross-examination? That's the question.
All right. Last comment to you, Mr. Vyas. Do you believe that obviously the BJP considers today a huge victory? Amit Shah would be relieved at what has happened today. Do you believe that this is the beginning of the end of this entire legal process against him, or do you believe that this is now going to continue for several months, if not years? If you just look at the cross-section of our panelists today, there are so many who feel very strongly against Mr. Shah, even despite what has happened today. Do you feel that his battles will continue?
No, Vishnu, as almost every panelist has made it out, that there is further course of course, and also the lawyer concerned also has said that he has the instructions from his client to go to the higher court. I am sure this will continue to be debated and argued in the higher courts of law. So I don't think this is the full stop. I think it will continue, but this has definitely vindicated our stand, which we held right from day one, that he was unnecessarily being implicated, and he has no role in this or no kind of a responsibility of criminal nature in this entire episode.
Mr. Vyas, we've run out of time, but I'm intrigued by the shirt that you're wearing. It says, "Stay the track." Is that what Amit Shah's philosophy today is? Stay the track?
Well, I think everybody in the life must adopt this as a maxim, to stay the track. If you don't, then, well, it's up to you. The risks are yours.
All right. Well, I suppose that applies to all of the people in this on the panel today. A very, very heated subject. I'd like to thank all of you very much for joining us.